relating to the mysterious death of Army biological research scientist Dr. Frank Olson.
After the Watergate scandal, there was kind of a house cleaning that went on within the CIA. And some of the scandals came to light involving the CIA and LSD and other drugs. There were public hearings in the Congress, and some of this information came out. So there were these perfunctory apologies given, and there were certainly apologies given to the Olson family who survived Frank Olson's death. But generally speaking, that's as far as it went.
Today, LSD's inventor, Albert Hofmann, after a long and distinguished career as a research chemist, is retired and living in Switzerland. Ken Kesey is still writing, lecturing, and touring, and still exploring the mysteries of LSD.
I'll take acid every time. It's a shortcut to enlightenment that we were given at the end of this century for those of us who would like to go on to better realities and understand it with respect and say, okay, the door has been opened, this is the key that opened it.
After nearly 50 years of study, Dr. Oscar Janiger is also still involved with the drug.
I don't think it was a fad. I think that it did change the fabric of society. I sincerely do. Maybe not in the dramatic way that they might have anticipated, but certainly in subtle ways. We're never going to be the same as we were before 1960.
Aldous Huxley died on November 22, 1963. He soared into the afterlife after receiving his last request, an injection of LSD. Timothy Leary's imprisonment in 1970 did nothing to diminish his enthusiastic advocacy for LSD.
Leary was busted for pot. The judge declared him the most dangerous man in the world. And he was sentenced to, I believe, 10 years in prison. The Weather Underground shortly thereafter broke him out.
And went on a kind of wild tour de force through Africa, Europe, Asia. Ended up being nabbed again by federal narcotics agents in Afghanistan, of all places. In 1973, he was brought back to the United States and given even a longer prison term. He was facing a really long time in prison. Eventually he was let out in 1976 because apparently he cooperated to some degree with federal authorities. He toned down his drug advocacy in the late 70s after he got out of jail. But he became one of the early pioneers for computers and software. He became an advocate of space travel and space migration. And to the day he died, he was a controversial person, saying controversial things.
The most identifiable icon of the psychedelic culture, Timothy Leary, dies on May 30th, 1996.
Do you have the freedom to do with your nervous system what you want, which was always Tim Leary's great cri de coeur. And in a culture that accepts the manipulation of our consciousness, of our psyche, from so many different agents, from Prozac to Valium to caffeine to chocolate to whatever, is there a place for LSD? Yeah, I think there should be.
The cultural upheaval that accompanied widespread use of LSD in the 60s halted most serious research in the drug, and popular use declined. But according to a recent federal survey, there now appears to be a sudden upsurge of interest in psychedelic drugs, particularly among high school students. All the more reasons, some scientists say, for resuming research into the properties of the most potent hallucinogen in the world. Now, let's see what's coming up on the next History's Mysteries. I'm Arthur Kent for the History Channel. Thanks for watching.
Discover more about this and every History's Mysteries topic at historychannel.com.
Delve into the past to uncover history's most intriguing mysteries.
The Holy Grail. Worst maritime disasters. Condemned as a witch, then
Count Dracula. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Join Arthur Kent as we travel around the world to unlock history's best-kept secrets.
This is where history really took place. This is where history really is.
History's Mysteries with Arthur Kent. Weeknights at 8 Eastern, 9 Pacific on the History Channel.
Declassified and disclosed. The History Channel is proud to present on home video the episode you've just seen of History's Mysteries for only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Call 1-800-708-1776 or order online at historychannel.com.